is Lynn, and I'm with Mr. Wipers over here. You know?
The only reason why it says wipers is because I didn't have a
gosh.
chance to write out intermittent really fast. And then I'd probably spell it wrong. I'm Brian, by the way. Happy to be here.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Oh, wow.
today
There's
is
a delay, and I'm not sure.
Today is a monumental day in our show because I think I beat my previous record of making Lynn blush backstage. I think I did it in a much bigger way today than ever before. So, yeah.
Yeah, at my expense here. I can't even believe you, dude. I can't believe you did that to me.
And just
You
so
becoming my
everybody knows,
best friend. I'm telling you my secrets here, and then you.
No, just so everybody knows, we're experiencing some bad
Go ahead.
delays. So if our communication is a little bit
There's
whatever, there's a bad delay today. So
yeah, there is. I don't know what the hell the deal is. Damn internet.
So how about you
Can't
go
live
out?
without it. Can't live with it.
How about this? You talk for
So how are you doing, Brian?
How about you talk for a couple seconds? I'll log back in to see if it's on my end.
Okay. All right. All right. So anyways, Brian is just rebooting. I'm having some delays here on my StreamYard. One of our internets are acting up. So I'm holding the fort until Brian gets back here. But yeah, so we've been talking all week about self-help kind of stuff. I've got my granddaughter. It's week off here. So give me 2 seconds. What a day! I got my granddaughter making some weird pipe noises in the back here. It's just the internet's going crazy. I mean,
Yes.
Hey,
hey, Mark.
Alrighty then. Hey, Mark. I'm sure you can hold the fort effectively. Well, not with my granddaughter. I guess my microwave's making a damn weird ass noise right now. Everything is just going bonkers on me.
As Scott McCain would say, when it comes to the internet, the gremlins or the squirrels are running on their wheel.
That makes sense. But hey, all of a sudden it's better. The microwave's off and the internet's better. Yay! I'll tell you what, man. It's been a humdinger a day already. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
And you making me blush before the show.
So just the recap is that we had a little bit of a delay and technical issue, but I think today was the day, March 11th. I don't remember what the previous day was, where I got Lynn to blush and just get out of her normal space, the quickest and the most impactful time yet to be. So I'm kind of happy about that. She was she was hysterical. So,
can I just make a very important confession here?
No confessions.
Truly be careful what you put out there. Hey, truly be careful what you say out there, because one way or another it might come back. Well, the story's yet to be written, but some things might come back to haunt you in a way.
Well,
and Brian just reminded me of that today, so thank you, Brian.
Well, and as Tom Cruise, you're welcome. As Tom Cruise said in Top Gun, and when she was sharing this, I'm like, ooh, that it immediately came to mind with Kelly McGillis when he goes, I had the opportunity and I took it, or I had the shot and I took it, and that's all that came to mind by intermittent wipers and somebody that Lynn is getting acquainted with.
Shut up.
Shut up. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I did have a chance. I couldn't write fast enough to write out intermittent, so I just said wipers. So there we go.
Be careful. Remember, we never know who's watching these things, so just let's let it be.
Well, it's not like we're calling the person up by their name, So anyway, happy Thursday to everybody, and thank you for
good thing I didn't give you that.
Show. What's that?
Yes, there's the delay. And yes, we're talking about value of self-education, That's going to be a good topic today.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's
I
something
guess we'll
that's
just
it just so everybody knows, if Lynn and I are not going, in a dialogue, is because we have a crazy delay today. So we'll make our way through it. I don't think that we can talk about self-help without talking about the education part of it. And obviously, like Jim Rohn has a great quote: is that traditional education can make you a living, but self-actualization, or excuse me, self-education can make you a fortune. And I'm a firm believer in that. That it's not what not what you do throughout school that gets you to where you are. It's what you do in addition. It's what you do that you have full control over. And I'd be willing to say that a lot of people that might be watching, and anybody that's ever achieved anything, it'd be hard pressed for me to find somebody that didn't do it without having an education regiment of some kind that they took upon themselves. And they didn't have imposed upon them like traditional linear education.
I agree. I mean, back in the day, you needed certification. I was just talking to somebody about that this morning, and it realized that we find that it's so much easier to ask a former therapist. I went to a former therapist that was in a domestic abuse situation. That because she got out of it and her life got better, that she became, a therapist. I mean, I relate more to her that can at least empathize with me than actually somebody that went textbook.
Mm-hmm.
So, those, I mean, that's just one scenario. Or self-help can be somebody that you do see that has gotten themselves from one place that you could resonate with to another. They may not have the credentials, but what's wrong with talking to them and saying, "Hey, what did you do? What's wrong with hearing their story? There's something in their story that will be impactful to you." And it's one of those things where I realize I have truly felt like I should be quiet about my story. Why should I give my resume of my story of what I've been through? Why should I be on Clubhouse and tell everybody all the different things I can do to feel validated? I don't need anybody to validate my education or my knowledge.
Right.
And so that's the perspective that I come from. However, when I have seen people that have actually inspired me and motivated me and have helped me, now it would be selfish for me not to pay it forward with somebody that got out of their comfort zone.
Yep.
And I'm truly out of my comfort zone. I'm an introvert and I don't like talking about myself. And yet I'm doing two damn things I don't want to do. I don't want to be in front of the camera.
Right.
I'd rather, but yet I got to do it because people already assume, but Lynn, you're just Lynn Serrano. You can do it. I'm like, there's a lot of times I don't want to freaking do it, but nobody else is going to do it for me. So exactly. I'm getting out of my way and showing you again, getting out of my comfort zone that, yeah, I do what people don't expect me to do. And I like that. I'm not going to lose being that way anymore.
No. And this should be a beautiful space for anybody to choose, to choose for themselves. How good do you want to be? How hard do you want to work? How fast do you want to get there? Those three questions were posed upon me and implanted in my brain and in my heart from one of my coaches, right? It's a husband and wife team that coach masters of ceremonies. They coach people to do a love story. You sit up in front of a microphone for 2 days straight while they rip you apart, right? While they critique everything. And it's like, how hard do you want to work? How fast do you want to get there? How good do you want to be? Three questions that if you give that an honest answer every day, you're going to be a lot better than if you don't answer anything and you just kind of go through life without really anything to strive for. And I'll be danged if anybody's going to tell me what my life should look like when they don't even know what theirs is going to look like. Or, how can somebody take away something from you when it shouldn't matter, right? You put in the work, you allocate the time, you make it important to yourself. If somebody else doesn't make that important to them, that's okay, but that's not the path you're on.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because like my youngest daughter, she was wiser than her peers
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that she chose not to go college debt right away until she truly knew what she wanted to do. And I truly think that it's kind of bullshit now these days to make a kid right out of high school go right into college. Your brain is not even freaking fully developed till you're freaking 25.
Right.
And yet you're making these, oh, my parents want me to be a doctor, my parents want me to do this, and I got to do this because they did that. And then you're setting them up to failure. You're setting them up for shit. Look at the stories of everybody that's gone to college that are not using their freaking degree.
Right.
I mean, let's be totally transparent about this. And yet my daughter had a passion for hair. My daughter had a passion for doing this since she was 11 years old, and she waited to go to school and everything. And I'm just a proud mama moment here. She
Mm-hmm.
just went and got certified. She's also now a cosmetologist instructor
Yep.
as well as a cosmetologist, and she's going for her barber's license. I mean, this is her passion, this is her desire, but most people sign up to do it because, oh, you know, I'll do this for money or whatever. But she's made a career of it for herself because, listen, my upstairs bathroom, we've been in this house for 26, 24 years. That damn vanity can tell you how much she's practiced over the freaking years being little and whatnot. So, but that's her passion. That's her passion. But yet she had scholarship. She could go to any college she wanted. She just was like, that's just not me. I mean, she's artistic, and she's you know, she's musically talented and all these things. And she followed her passion. She followed what she desired. And if kids would be allowed to develop into who they want and had that break to realize, wait, I'm not conditioned to go to school right now. You mean I have freedom and choices? Mom can't tell me what to do. My dad can't tell me what to do. And I don't even have to go to college if I don't want to. I mean,
Correct.
like for that's like your first step to realizing that you have freedom to think and do and choose what you want, not what anybody else wants you to do.
Exactly.
And
Well,
so, and you're gonna fall, you're gonna fail, but damn it, you know,
well, another thing,
it just
another thing in life that I despise is that people attach any bit of education or whatever, and they want validation for it. It's just like, I don't believe in that. I'm not wired that way. If I'm going to get a body of training, I'm going to do it, number one, because my self-actualization says I can. Now, you know, I always love to be challenged, but I'm not doing it for, you know, I have a lot of initials that I could put behind my name, but they don't mean anything to anybody, right? And especially they don't mean anything if people don't perceive them to mean anything, right? And so, but it's like, I want to be that resource. I want to be that standard for people. That it's like, when, you know, and one of the major motivators for me to, you know, get certified and to get my master's in wedding and event planning is because of the kind of treatment that, you know, wedding and event pros were trying to, the kind of crap that they were trying to share with brides and grooms that were just not truthful. That really upset me,
well,
that it's like they're sharing things that are in their best interest. They're not sharing things that matter to the customer, or that they put in this mental picture that, without even realizing it, that a bride and groom are given choices, but they're not in their best interest, right? Here's what we always do. Anytime I ever hear those words, it's a red flag, because those words tell me a lot about the venue, potentially the person, and also though the philosophy of the venue or the business. And so when people say I did this or I did that, it's like, great. I don't give kudos very often because of something that, did you do it for you or did you do it for the pat on the back? I'm not in that space to just pat somebody on the back like a cheerleader, as if you're doing something like you won the Nobel Peace Prize or something, which is a
no,
lifelong quest, you
no,
know?
no, but again, I'm glad that you took your career and your passion to the level that you wanted to personally. But
Yep.
when we're talking self-education too, whether it's certified education or just being naturally of that service for whatever, All of that meshes. It just, like you said, you've got textbook and you got on-the-job training.
Yep.
They're two different things.
Yep.
And yet what I'm saying, the standard of the paper doesn't matter. You took it beyond a certification first to go into it from a textbook content and learn more about your passion.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that there aren't other people that are as passionate or the same like-minded as you are either.
That's
so
true.
So what I'm saying is I'll give a good example. One of my daughters, my ex-sister-in-law, she's a good example that she had 3 little kids. She used to be a baker, and her parents told her that she would never amount to anything. She wasn't smart or anything. And then her youngest daughter got sick and was in the hospital a lot. Next thing you know, she's like, you know what? I'm going to try to be a nurse. Well, bygone it. She did it part-time. She became a nurse. Yeah. Okay. So, and she did that when she was in her 30s to become a nurse.
Right.
Okay. So never say never, but it took the fact that she became so educated in the system that she, had to have the licensing. But again, she was already nursing before she got her nurse degree. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's funny. They say you got to have a certificate to whatever, but we all become knowledgeable about medical because of one thing or another, whether it's family member or within ourselves.
Right.
It doesn't, they send you home. They don't send you home with a certified doctor or nurse, but you got to do the shit that they do.
Right. It's when I look at
people.
When I look at in my life, there's 2 different paradigms. Is that somebody that does not subscribe to learning or whatever? That's your choice. Okay. I just want to be clear about that. But it just seems that like the thought process of somebody that doesn't choose to self-educate, whatever it might be in your career, something you're passionate about, keeping the mental waves going, keeping your brain functioning with good information, right? Whether it's for professional or personal, doesn't matter. You're enriching your life. You're enriching your vocabulary, whatever that is. People that choose not to go after and try to knock down those that do, right? As if they had some elaborate, lifestyle that they were the chosen ones, or they had a red carpet rolled out for them. But then the flip side of that is that self-educated people, it doesn't mean that they disregard those that choose not to, but they've got bigger things to do in life. So it's interesting. One goes after another group of people, but the other people don't play that game because they got other stuff to do. So it's just interesting about how I've seen that develop in my life.
I mean, and I've also seen people that, because of certain teachers, and most teachers are good, but because of certain teachers, they never felt fulfilled or learned anything in school and said, F it to school. I'm getting the heck out of here. Some people didn't get their GED till they were 29 years old, or this or that. It doesn't make them bad or whatever. It's the teaching, it's the education, it's the impression that they got that they couldn't flourish in that environment. And so again, it's the self-education of realizing what's good for you and what's not good for you are, very important to notice. And I want to say good morning to Mr.
Good morning, Charles.
Charles Coachman.
Hey, buddy. Good morning.
We appreciate you. So seriously, it's just so much to say about the value of self-education and knowing that no matter what you do it for your freaking self. Do it for your peace of mind. Do it for your gratification. I can't even tell you. I don't go around to everywhere and tell everybody I graduated from high school a year early. You want to see my diploma? Nobody effing cares. And then, I got a associate's degree. Nobody fucking cares. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, but I'm just fired up to say, where do you think that the credentials come? They don't. If somebody is of service and giving you information and can help you, 1, because maybe they've been down that road, or 2, because it was their passion to learn something, it's amazing. I mean, you can't live your life in one stream. Everyone has more than one interest. and abilities. And it's just great when we can see ourselves go in whatever way we want to go. Oh, hi, Michelle. Thank you for being
Michelle's
here.
Self-taught photographer. Yeah, self-taught
Oh,
photographer here in Love. I went to high school with Michelle, so.
well, good. You go, girl. That's exactly. Well, you know what? It's funny because I like taking pictures and stuff, and I, I did big girl thing and got one of those Canon EOS. She'll know what I'm talking about. Actually, like a professional camera. I'm intimidated by that shit. The thing is I've taken courses and I am certified, like courses for photography for wedding and all this shit. I'm still intimidated, but naturally I want to do what I want to do. So it's my field of hobbiness and on that point. I don't want to get technical and be, accounted for somebody's wedding, because gosh, that would be like you could ruin a wedding thing. You got to have that confidence and got to have that education. So I'm proud of you that you're a self-taught photographer and you stand in that. That's fantastic.
Michelle, thanks for tuning in. I can't wait for the day that when our paths cross, we're able to shoot a wedding together and just collaborate for a couple of some kind. Michelle does a lot of school events like sports, and I believe she does some family stuff. So good on you for learning the craft and doing the work to get where you are.
Absolutely.
So just had to say that it'd be cool to do a wedding with you sometime if you're still doing weddings. I don't know if you're doing weddings or just the school or sports stuff.
That's super awesome. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, we can diminish somebody's spirit by technicality. Correct. And I am one of those that I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going to be good enough because and then I ended up, like from 6th grade, I had been coupling people, helping people be the mediator between relationships and helping those relationships since 6th grade. And then What do I do for 15 years? I'm doing lingerie parties, helping couples again. I'm not professing to be a counselor or whatever, and I've taken some courses, but the point is I don't need a resume to know that I relate to people and I want to help.
Yeah.
So, well, but it's just, but then I say, shit, Lynn, don't tell nobody you know how to do this or that,
Well, it brings up the mindset that
I'm one of the ones that.
Go ahead, Lynn. We got a delay. Go ahead. Big delay.
No, you go, buddy. You go, buddy.
It just comes to mind that the mindset of like, if I don't have it or if I can't have it, I don't want you to have it either. Which is, if I can't have it or I don't want to be successful, or if I can't be successful, I don't want you to be successful either, which is toxic in every possible way. Yeah, so Michelle says, yes, lots of sports. That's my main focus. Okay, we're spot on there. But would love to maybe cover one with you at some point. Have cut back a lot on weddings due to some scary brides.
Well, no, because, as women, and maybe I shouldn't speak to her or say it that way, but, I know I'm critical about how I'm photographed. The photographer may think one way, and I think that's not flattering for me, so that's a really hard. I don't knock a photographer, because depending on a girl's self-esteem, that those pictures can make or break her, and she never has a chance to go back. So you may not understand that from a girl's point of view there, Brian, but as a girl to a girl here, I would say that I would be like, I would be so conscientious. Oh my gosh, she got the fat flabs of my arms, and she got me with my chin, and so it really would be hard. That's why I said I wouldn't have the tough skin to be accountable. Granted, I have photographed many weddings and have produced lots of pictures, but you see, I'm not getting paid for that shit.
Right.
You should just be grateful I captured the moment for you and gave it to you. That's why no money exchange, and I don't put no titles to it. So That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Wow, you're getting you're practicing a lot with that verbiage right there, Lynn. I got to be honest. You've been working on that pretty well over the past couple of weeks.
It's practice makes perfect.
Well, you got with the Nashville. We'll call the situation Nashville. You got plenty of time to practice. So there you go.
Brian. Yeah, no. Brian, just stop while you're ahead.
Okay.
Just stop while you're ahead.
Or I will be that other guy, right? I will be that other guy.
Because if you ever want to hear my secrets, listen, if you want to keep getting into my personal zone, don't step out of my zone. You're supposed to be my bestie. You're supposed to like keep that shit to yourself.
Okay, I will now. From right now at 11:25 Central on Thursday, March 11th, gone. Yeah, so
well, you better be taking down some words here, because.
Oh, humdinger! I got humdinger. Yeah.
Humdinger. Yeah, we got to get some words. We got to get some words. Tomorrow, I'm going to confirm with Chris today that tomorrow we're going to have Chris Rausch with us. And I am super excited to have, he's becoming my one bestie. I mean, I love Christopher. Like he's just my little brother. I freaking love him to death. I mean, I just love him. He's so freaking awesome. So,
well, and then we got Pamela Aubrey.
So
next week,
self-education is something. Yes, and I'm gonna confirm that with her too, because I got a picture somewhere that we have her. So we're still looking for our next following week. It's nice if we stay ahead of this. So
and the most beautiful part is the most beautiful part is
self-education thing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lynn. We got a huge delay.
She doesn't know what we're gonna be talking about.
Woo! Yep.
I know. Sorry. It's just that Pamela doesn't even know what our topics are going to be for next week, and she already volunteered. This is Lynn, and I'm done. That's where that comes good today.
So self-education is something that you take upon yourself, whatever it is. You don't have to answer to anybody. You're doing it for whatever you're doing it for, and there's something that drives you from within that wants to take you where you want to be. And to those that don't do it, that's okay. That's a choice. But with the way that our world is and how abundant all the resources are, like with books on Audible and just things available in many different formats and platforms, when somebody says I can't do that or whatever, it's like, okay,
hey,
that's a frame of mind.
Hey, I have a great analogy. You ready for this analogy?
Yep.
Okay, somebody self-teaches themselves how to play the piano. You don't tell people, oh, stop. Can I see your credentials to play that music right now? Can you stop what you're doing? Because did you go to school for that? Did you go to school? The rest of my case of this, Lynn, and I'm done.
So Charles says self-education is truly important. We do not continue to grow without educating ourselves. Whatever that is that drives us, it doesn't matter, but at least we're nurturing, we're moving ourselves forward, but it has to be a daily choice. And Charles is spot on with this. It's very important for those that want to do something more than where they are, right? What do books cost this day and age? They hardly cost anything. Sometimes even on Amazon or other sources, they'll actually do them for free for a digital download, right? So there really is no excuse that works. I mean, I'm not a big fan of blaming excuses anyway, but if you don't choose to self-educate, that's a choice, but don't downplay those that do, right? Here's something I ask myself every day is, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to pay the price? And then you can say for ... And if you're not willing to do it, and it amazes me when I ask people that question, they completely get silent. Which I rest my case that if they're not willing to pay the price for whatever they want, well, then don't complain or be about it. Yeah, I could have swore there, but I didn't, right?
Well, you know what? I just love my analogy because my brother Mark, who's very, very freaking talented, he was self-taught. Guitar, piano, keyboard, singing, everything, okay? And yet don't be pissed off that my brother gets headliners and went out there and performed when you went to school for music. And don't be pissed to say, but he didn't go to school. He didn't go to school. I went 4 years for music. Sorry.
Right.
I mean, I'm hot about this because I'm just saying, who the hell are you to pick on my brother because he didn't go to school? He went out and did it. He did his passion. He did it the best way he could. Right. Okay? And he also liked, if he didn't know the words, he'd make up the words and it sang perfectly. But that was his zone of genius. And the genius part is, you don't hate him for not spending $50,000 to go to college to go be able to play like he does. That's just the bottom line I have to say.
Right. Well, and
this is Lynn, and I'm done.
Well, of course, no statement from Lynn would be complete without that expression. Is that what he didn't see?
What?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
What he didn't see in the value of going to school, he made up for in having the heart, the ambition, the talent, and honing his craft. You know, I mean, I come from an
self-education.
I come from an educated background, but at the same time, the way that our world is working, a lot of people are not leaning to that today because it doesn't pay off, or they might do it later, right? I mean, I'm a huge advocate of like the trades, the skilled trades. You use it as you go, right? You're not waiting 4 years or 6 years or whatever it is to actually start applying some of the stuff that you're learning, right? Like my certifications are skilled trades type of stuff because you're actually practicing it. You're not sitting there like reading a book and then, oh, okay, now that you got the certificate or the degree, now you go off and use it. Now I know that that's not fair given whatever somebody's discipline is, where, obviously if you're in medicine, you have to do a program before you become a nurse and all of that, or a doctor or a teacher, right? So there are some practical things you need to do, but at the same time, it's like important. They're all important, but don't dog somebody, because how do you downplay somebody that had that in their DNA? They had their natural skill, right?
Right.
Your brother. He had the natural skill and he kept honing his craft. Nobody, number one, you can't make somebody wrong when they had, when they just came out of the womb like that, right? Your brother was an anomaly, right? Because not a lot of musicians have that, right? But what he didn't go to school for, he was in the trenches working at it every day. That's a distinction. When somebody goes to school, are they working on it every day, even after they get the certificate that says that based on whatever criteria or curriculum, they met these requirements? Does that mean that they're still going to practice it every day? Yeah. I don't think so. And that's why.
Well, and that.
Go ahead, Lynn.
I mean, there's certain certifications of schoolings you need to be a civil engineer. You need to be educated. To be a certain engineer, you need to be educated. Doctor, you need to know the formulas and diagnosis and parts of the body analogy and stuff. You need to know that stuff. You do, but unfortunately they don't tell us that the doctor you're working on only got a 65, whereas you have the doctor that got 100%. It doesn't matter. I mean, some shit you do need certificates, but most of the stuff is like, this is, I'm going to go to Michelle's comment here.
Yeah. That's why I love photography. It's my work and done the way I see it. Wouldn't be my work if I always follow by the rules. 100%. Well done, Michelle. Well done. Absolutely. Your photography is your style.
Absolutely.
You have your eyes and your artistic ability. When you look through the viewfinder and your camera, that's your interpretation of that art, of that moment.
And but the people used to have to go to 4-year college to be a photographer.
Right.
It just, but you hone in your craft, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's certain things. We're not knocking certificates. We're not knocking everybody that has a degree, but we're also saying that we shouldn't be knocking anybody. It doesn't matter how you freaking get somewhere, as long as you get there and you do the shit. That's really what it comes down to.
Right. Well, and also though, like in terms of Charles says, I attended college part-time. I had children early, worked full-time, and took advantage of every chance to learn a new skill. Learning has become a lifelong goal, and it will never be completed until my race has been done. Wow. Well said, Charles. Well said. And here's also another thing in terms of the framing of this. Self-education, right? You take it upon yourself. Now, also, though, let's bring in the ways of doing that, right? Like for your brother, given being a musician, it's practice. It's working with other people if he wanted to do performances with other musicians, right? Maybe it's learning a different instrument, right? It's probably not reading books about it because this is something you actually have to do, right? Yeah. When a doctor learns about the newest trends in medicine or whatever, is there seminars and conferences? Do they have to have CEU credits or some kind of accreditation credits to keep up with their practice? I'm sure they do, but it's, or they might have to go in and practice again on open heart surgery on a pig or whatever. But it's not one thing. It's not book specific. It's about trying new things, like in Michelle's business of photography. Maybe it's using different filters, different ways to use lighting, but the hands-on. Maybe she has somebody that she follows online or does a course where it's like, ooh, here's how you can use this piece of technology.
Well, like my daughter with cosmetology, she actually, for her, part of it is written exam, and the other one is actually demonstration. You actually got to demonstrate your skills, right? And again, that's what you want. You want to be able to have somebody demonstrate. So she just went and took her written or she took her demonstration of how to be an instructor to teach people. So I mean, those are important things. I mean, we're not knocking. I mean, shit, my daughter was doing hair before she was certified to do it. But that was a risk those people took, and blah blah blah, and learning and whatever. But there is a part where when you want to hone into, was this some good example? I mean, I'm doing these podcasts every day with Brian. We're doing this. We're being consistent. My live, love, laugh. I'm putting more heart and soul in it. It's taking more to get quality people I interview. So I haven't been consistent with it because I'm taking it to a different level, but I still have that passion, but I'm still showing up. So you see, even though I'm honing my skills and I'm moving and pivoting different things, I'm still honing my skill by showing up every day and just being here. Yep. But again, does that mean I'm wrong or I have my fans saying when I'm going to have that show, I'm going to have it here soon and things are going to go, but I'm honing my skills here, being present. I'm being consistent with being on a show and having a co-host and that kind of thing. And so you gotta give yourself a chance that it might not look right. And people say you're going to start something and quit it or whatever. They may think that, but they don't understand that you are trying to figure out your path. So if you have somebody condemning you because, you're a jack of all trades or, not master of none, well, screw that saying, because it's imperative that you try so that you know what you want to be when you grow up. And at 55, I'm growing up and finding out what I want to be now. There was no freaking, I was on, a school of hard knocks. That's all I can tell you.
Yep.
I'm Lynn and I'm done.
Of course, I was waiting for it. This is another, as you were talking, Lynn, is that when we look at, here's another way of bringing out interpretation, right? Lynn's interpretation of a live stream is this, like the one you did with Christopher, right? He commented many times, it's like, whoa, you made me feel really at home. This was personalized, right? That is your own interpretation, right? You were willing to take a risk. You were willing to do the work. You were willing to take whatever outcome came out of it, right? In the most humblest way possible, because that's who you are. Charles in real estate. Charles has his own unique way of his years in San Jose. Here's how he go about and interprets selling real estate. Michelle. Here's how Michelle interprets photography. Nobody can take that away from you because that's who you are. That's what makes you different, And so I just love the way that interpretation is because it's how you look at things. It's how you view the world with your own individual eyes.
Absolutely.
And number one, just that inherent DNA is something that should not even come close to comparison. But number two, if people badger you enough, they start getting you to start not even believing in that. And you need to stay away from those people. Your interpretation of whatever you do is true to you.
We need to interpretation and perception. I hope those are our words for tomorrow.
Okay, I'll write them down. I got more paper here. I got more paper here.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. But seriously, people, it's just that when we allow other people to move our needle from where we're going and distract us, it's bullshit. Mm-hmm. Don't fall for it. Right. But you know what? Love the fact, take a notice when that happens. Love the fact that they feel like they're thinking of you in their best interest. That's their perception, that they're helping you from a life of falling down and getting up. Well, thank you for trying to breathe for me, but shit, you can't do that for me.
Well, it kind of looks at, you know, like in terms of things that everybody, you know, how everybody wants to educate themselves, right? Yeah. There are some authors out there that I don't care to even buy their books or read their stuff just because that's not my interpretation of how I want to learn or who I want to be in the world, right? Yeah. Does it mean that they're not valuable to other people? No. It's just that that's not my interpretation, that I need that person's words or investing the time into that methodology or that thought process.
I'm going to be very bold and say some bullshit or call some bullshit out. No. What did I say?
You said I'm going to here's some bullshit.
Yeah, but I meant to say is I'm going to call some bullshit on some stuff, okay? And here we go. It's 41 minutes in, and you guys that are here watching or made it through this are the ones who are going to get these nuggets, okay?
Okay, hold on. We need whenever you're going to do this in the future, we need like the boxing glove type of chime, you know, like the boxing match, you know what I mean? Because Lynn's ready to go at it.
So listen, I've educated myself on a lot of shit, but you know what? And including being affiliate marketing marketing, let me tell you, and not only marketing, but the fact of network marketing and stuff. My thing is right here, people, and you're going to hear it right now. I will not be sold for a price of sticking to something when I see no integrity, because my integrity is everything to me. So that's why, even though I've been educated and I'm affiliated to some things and this and that, if I don't see something good, I'm not going to bring you down to the cliff with me to jump off and hang. So right. I'm keeping it true and real here by telling you that, you know, if I don't endorse something, it's better to stay silent, because I need to be behind what I believe to be of integrity. And that's where stems my personality. And if I have nothing nice to say, I won't say it, so to speak. But what I will say is that when you feel invisible in a company and you're not being heard, I know my value. I'm not going to stick around to admit or to feel like I need to show you my diploma so that I can hang around with you, because you ain't worth me sharing that information. So you heard it here, the fact that staying real to yourself, and until you find the right people to put your flag down and say, oh no, I know this and this is what I'm doing. You know, I'm Lynn Serrano, and I'm not going to compromise my integrity of who I hang out with that I don't believe in. And I mean, I am so blessed to have Brian next to me. I love him. I could tell him anything, and I do, and then he embarrasses the hell out of me behind the scenes. I'm going to work on that. But again, surround yourself people that love you no matter where you come from, and that want to see you succeed. Because if they don't want to see you succeed,
you can put your head on my shoulder
half your
anytime.
battle.
You can put your head on my shoulder anytime.
Thank you. Thank you, little brother.
Oh, you're welcome.
But seriously, thank you. But seriously, surround yourself with people that we're going to get that figured out. But seriously, surround you with people that see your passion or believe in you, because that's when you have that light lit in you, And then you have people that actually are putting more firewood to it and making that fire bigger. And those are the people you want. You don't want that wet wood. Put that shit down, would you? For tomorrow, wet wood. Wait till Chris hears that one.
I was just going to mention that same exact thing. I pulled that one out. He's like, I just want to see his facial expression. Wet wood. Go, Chris.
Oh, look how red I am. Serious. You want the good firewood to keep your light going. You don't want that wet wood.
So I got my answer. Thank you, Lynn.
Lynn, and I'm done.
No, you can't be done. That facial expression, Lynn, you're going to be laughing for another 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh. What makes me laugh is there's times I'd break up with Ricky and I'd say, look, I'm done.
Yeah. One thing.
So I've been saying I'm done for a long time.
One thing I want to say about this self-education is that there is a tendency, given how many communities and tribes there are, with live streaming and different shows, is that there's a tendency for everybody to conform, that they may or may not know why they should be following or reading this person, but they do it because it's what everybody else is doing. I think that can become a toxic thing, right? Because are you doing it because you believe in that person or you like their teachings, or are you doing it because other people are doing it? And I don't have the answer because it's up to each person to determine what that is. But if you're doing it just to fit in and you're doing, obviously we want to grow in life. But if you're doing it with like a false sense of, fulfillment, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You should be following people that nurture you. You buy their books because you like their message. They challenge you, right? Don't read anything that you don't agree with them, right? Just because other people do, right? There's other people that have turned me on to certain authors and I'm like, I can't get into their stuff because there's other authors that I live and die by that say something else, It doesn't mean one's right or not, but you have to find your people, and that's where you stick with who they are, right? Like I'm a huge fan of Andy Frisella. He's very brash. He's a billionaire, but he tells it like it is, right? He lived on the streets. He was poor, right? He tells it like it is. He's in your face, but there's no excuses. You either do the work. There is no victim mentality with him. I follow him every day because it's like it's the kick in the butt I need. Instead of somebody saying, "Oh, just sit on your couch, eat chips, and you're going to be okay." No, I know that that's not true. That doesn't work for me, right? So all I'm trying to say is to everybody is that the people you follow and the books you read, do it because you want to. Don't do it because other people are doing it in your circles.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. I am grateful to live 55 years old and finally realizing who I am worth. I went to 3 different middle schools and ended up graduating year early. Because why? Because I never felt like I fit. And I realized this past week that I reflected that I have felt invisible all my life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And mostly because I was always around the people that didn't see who I was. Right. They only seen what they thought they knew. Right. And somebody brought it in home when they made a comment to me about perceiving the perception of my friend Brian here. And that's why I love Brian, because Brian is me and I am Brian. We're a mirror of each other, because people may just freaking assume and have their interpretation of us, but you guys have no clue. And I think I'm going to stand up for the invisible people out in the world, that I feel you, I hear you, and I see you, because I have learned in the last few days that some people appreciate me and some people don't. Some people just see me, what they call. They may see a pretty face, but I'm so much more than what you see. I'm more than what my weight is. I'm more than what people judge. And I'm fucking tired of being around those people. I'm done. I say, hey, I got 100 pounds to lose. You got a problem with that? Let's fucking stop talking right now. And that's my start. I'm just done. Because I'll tell you what, the 100 pounds are going to be gone, and those freaking men don't have a fucking chance with me now, and they're not going to have it later with me.
Right.
I hid my weight to keep those men away. Nope, I'm going to look good, and those guys don't even freaking have a chance. So screw you. See ya.
Well, Lynn, I can't wait till the day
I just don't like shallow people.
I can't wait till that day when we, you put in that work, you do the things you need to do to get where you want to be. But also, though, that you don't need to talk about that. You don't need to have those people as a preface to what you're about to do, right? You just do it and you move on, right?
But what I'm saying, and this is what's sad to me, Brian, is a lot of women. It's sad. I'm going to tell you something that's not talked about. Okay. A lot of women feel the way I do right now. Okay. But the sad thing is they starve themselves or do all this shit to look good for a man to see them. Okay. And I'm not one of those freaking people. That's why I stayed in my fat. And it's not my fucking excuse, but it's the way I felt that I had to do something different. Most women will lose weight to get a man to look at them. I wasn't going to conform that way. I wasn't going to be that way. If they couldn't see me and accept me right now the way I am, I don't want them, because that to me is truly seeing the person for their spirit and who they are. Mm-hmm. And I mean, okay, you got to be attracted to them. Okay, I understand that. But what I'm saying is if you're attracted to my face now, and that's what's so great about it, and I look decent up on top, and you see me as a person, and all of a sudden, you got a big booty, don't want that. Well, screw you. So you're gonna let the big booty, but you love everything else be whatever. I'm just saying the mentality is like, to have people that, well, I'm so attracted to you, but you're fat. Well, how the hell you say you're attracted to me? Yeah. So what I'm saying is it sucks. I've seen many women starve themselves and not be healthy just to please a guy. I'm sorry, but that's not the way the world works. That's bullshit. And that's why I'm good with this. I'm fine with this. I'm healed for this. But now I feel compassionate to tell other people that they don't need to feel that way. Be good, feel good for yourself, but be mindful that people around you are just judgy like that. They won't give you a chance to. I've seen people twice they praise me for what I've achieved, but they treat me different when I'm thinner. I mean, they tell me what they thought. So I'm coming from the standpoint of I know how rude and crude those people can be. And so I'm blessed to have had that experience. But don't compromise who you are or what you are for the sake of somebody that's only superficial and shallow. I'm Lynn, and I'm done speaking.
So I don't know where to go with this, but tomorrow.
I'm so red right now because I can't believe I just said all that, but I'm standing in it.
I know you are. So to let everybody know, and we'd love to invite you all to our show tomorrow on Friday, is that we're going to have Christopher Rausch with us, an amazing guy. He's going to be with us, to do a little improv show, as we started a couple weeks ago every Friday. Lynn and I, and unless we have a guest host, it's between both of us. But tomorrow we're going to have Christopher, and the week after Pamela Aubrey. So if she sees this and doesn't remember saying yes, we got her. And we're going to be taking, over the course of this week, I've been taking like little words or little phrases that we've used over the week, and we're going to do a little improv section. So I'm going to call off a word. All three of us are going to share very quickly. We'll move on to the next one, and hopefully we can get done with all of the words and phrases that were taken throughout this week of self-help. So we encourage all of you to be with us tomorrow for a lot of fun.
Can I just say this? The ones that are bold or interesting, you need to put those in a basket, because you got to make sure that you're keeping track. There's some words that we do need to get through. You know what I'm saying? And some are like, okay. So if you could, and we're having backstage in front of you guys just so that you feel comfortable here. But so we can make sure that those ones that we really want to get to are in a basket. And then, because if we get short, we don't want to forget that. So let's see. Great to see Christopher. I enjoy listening to him. He's become my little brother. I think you're going to see Christopher visiting us every now and then, because we just love he just meshes with our tribe.
Well, and he invited himself,
Brian,
or he volunteered his time on Friday, so it's cool that he wants to be a part of this.
I know, I love it. So do you want to talk about the action step?
So we want to
talk about the action step for question.
Absolutely. So we thank everybody for being with us today, talking about self-education, all in our week of self-help. So today's action step or question to consider is, how often do you read, and what can you do to increase the time on a daily basis? Everybody has different commitments throughout the day, but how often do you read? Whatever that measurement is, whatever that is for you, how often do you read? Is it daily? Is it hourly? What is it? And then what can you do to increase that time? You know, I don't want to make this a quantitative thing, because the minutes really don't matter unless you're applying, or unless you're enriching, you're fulfilling yourself. So the question, and we'd love to hear your answers, how often do you read, and what's one thing you can do to increase that amount of time on a daily basis? That's the question.
Love it. Love it. Brian, I just love our hour. I swear. This is like Monday through Friday. This is like my freaking best time is spending it with you. It just gets better and better all the time, dude. And you're making me blush now. Damn it. Stop.
Man, it's her. So hey, funny. Everybody, all you of our audience, look at Lynn's face right now. Look at her face right now. It's like,
shut up. Shut up. It's the sun coming out. It's the sun coming out. I want to thank everybody that spends time with us. Yeah, I'm deflecting right at the moment. I want to thank everybody for always being here and showing up and being part of our tribe. We just want to love you. We just want to make you think different things for yourself. Read.
Yeah, what's that?
I can see steps away from. Oh man, I like her. I like you, Michelle. I thank you so much. This is the first time you've been with us, and I truly, it's nice to see and chat with one of Brian's friends, because one of Brian's friends is a friend of mine. So I really, truly like that. So again, it's just an awesome thing to just have two people be unscripted, be ourselves, show up, and see what the hell happens.
Doesn't it feel?
All right, you guys. Anything else you'd like to say?
It's such a freeing space to be in, where all we have is a title, and we'll see what comes out of our mouth. For my stew.
Charles says. You want to
Charles
read it?
says, listening to you while browning beef for my stew. Cheers and love to you both back. Charles, Lynn and I want to know how your stew tastes, so make sure you keep us posted on what it looks like or what it tastes like.
Yeah, actually, we have class tonight, Brian.
Definitely entertaining today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah.
Hey, high five. Hey, high five. There we go. That is one of our missions. That is one of our missions, is to entertain, if anything else, just being silly and goofy.
Hey, Michelle, if you're able to step away tomorrow, speaking of entertainment, yeah, when we don't know what's going to come out of each other's mouths, and there's three of us, even better. So if you're able to join us tomorrow, that'd be awesome.
And Chris is going to be really good at this. I know that. He's going to show us up. He's going to bring your A game. So tonight, Brian and I will be doing.
We got to make sure that he gets wet wood as his first word. You know what I mean? Like.
Hey, wait, our show, we're unscripted and we don't manipulate things, but that's all I did say is the clue. Put the special ones in a special container, because we got to go over those. That's for sure.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, she said she'll watch for it.
Excellent. Thank you, Michelle. It just somehow is that I don't know, like the texture of this paper or something made me grab this one first. So, Chris, your word is wet wood. What say you?
What? I'm leaving right now. All right, you guys, on that note, on that wood, I would leave right about now because I think it's a good time to say goodbye.